Up on the all new edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. Money in the Bank is coming up as everyone wants to continue to climb the corporate ladder on both Raw and SmackDown. But on the Raw side of things, WWE Champion Drew McIntyre reigns supreme over Selena Vega's new group as he still has his eyes on Seth Rollins and wants the Monday Night Messiah to challenge him for a match. Also on the SmackDown ring report, SmackDown continues on with Triple H and celebrating his 25th anniversary. You'll be surprised on that. And on NXT with the Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole. And who's that mystery man that attacked Tommaso Ciampa? We'll get to that. And on AEW as they continue the TNT Championship tournament with two semifinal matches. As we finally get to the big one. So we'll tell you what happened in the TNT Championship Finals. And in the Hot Topics report, we talked about Velveteen Dream. Now, Velveteen Dream is accused of showing sexual explicit stuff to a minor, but he denies it. And Mr. McMahon gets counter-sued by his own XFL commissioner for wrongful termination. As all new Pro Wrestling Show starts right now. Hello everyone, welcome to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Join in the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. Thank you all once again for watching. Let's get to a lot of stories and news going on. So let's get to the Raw Ring Report. On the Monday Night Raw Ring Report this week, Raw kicked off with WWE Champion Drew McIntyre getting his hands full with Selena Vega's associates, Andrade United States Champion Angel Garza and Austin Theory. Well, Drew was talking about he wanted to issue a challenge to Seth Rollins for blindsiding and attacked him. Issue him a challenge at Money in the Bank between them two for the WWE Championship. And he wants Seth to accept. Well, Drew had his hands full as from behind U.S. Champion Andrade from their match from last week. Andrade trying to do a counter behind attack, but got backfired when the WWE Champion Bro kicked him outside the ring. So later on, it was going to be Champion Drew McIntyre against Angel Garza later on in the show. Can you see? Okay. Champion Angel Garza. Yeah. Okay. Later on in the show. Okay. Speaking of that, Money in the Bank was fast and furious as we had 3 Money in the Bank matches from the men's side as Aleister Black defeated Austin Theory by pinfall to qualify for the Money in the Bank ladder match. So Aleister Black earns himself a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Also, Apollo Crews gets the Dukes over veteran MVP. He earns himself a spot in the Money in the Bank qualifying match. And legendary luchador Rey Mysterio defeated Seth Rollins' mercenary Murphy to earn himself a qualifying spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So 3 men from Raw, and on SmackDown, we'll talk about that. We know Daniel Bryan has advanced, but we'll talk about that later. Who else? Speaking of Money in the Bank participants, Shayna Baszler was in action as she went against Indy Hartwell one-on-one, but she won the match by referee stoppage. She did the same thing she was doing to Shayna Baszler, working on that lady's joint, her arm, and just broke it. But Shayna was still vicious and devastating than ever before. Shayna took it upon herself to grab a ladder and broke the arm of the job. And it was like, man, Shayna Baszler getting more vicious. And you have to wonder what she would do to go farther in the WWE Money in the Bank ladder match. Where now it starts at WWE headquarters and you got to fight your way all up through 7 floors of headquarters to get to the ring and get the briefcase. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this all going to play out. Speaking of another vicious person who is entering the Money in the Bank, Nia Jax. The years just before, it's Nia Jax. She went against Kairi Singh, and she did damage on Kairi Singh, and some say she botched it with picking up and dropping down. And now you're trying to say that Ronda Rousey is a botcher, but Nia is a botcher as well. Nia Jax won the match with the Samoan drop. Nia Jax, you had to look at them, the two odds-on favorite to me. Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler from Raw. I'm Becky Lynch. I'm looking over my head and shoulders to see who's gonna be in my way for the Raw Women's title. Also, tag team action as Cedric Alexander and Ricochet, the new Formula team, went against Shane Thorne and Brendan Vick. Good match from both high flyers over the Australian dudes. Well, Thorne and Vick didn't have a shot as Ricochet and Cedric Alexander got the win. So you got to wonder, is they going to be next in line? They're building them up to be like a tag team down the road. It might be. Also, NXT Women's Champion Charlotte Flair was in action when she went against Kaylin Carter. She won by submission. And she also talked about that no one can stop her. She's a champion and she's going to be here to stay. So Charlotte here to dominate the NXT Women's division as well, the Raw Women's division. So we'll see. Also, Bianca Belair was in action against Santana Garrett with the Street Profits, the Raw Tag Team Champions at ringside, I think doing color commentary. And Bianca with the showcasing her power moves, her strength, her ability. Bianca Belair won the match, and with the Street Profits at her side, looking forward to what they go against the Viking Raiders, as they had like a little something like a car karaoke singing with the turkey meats and stuff. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's see, Andrade, the United States champion, went against Akira Tozawa and defeated him by instant. Andrade trying to get himself back into title contention, back to himself being the U.S. champion. And then finally, the WWE champion, Drew McIntyre, went against Angel Garza and won by pinfall. It was a good match. Garza couldn't even take his gimmick off. He lost. Drew bro kicked him, and Drew took his pants off for him. So that was it. Drew McIntyre look forward next week as him and Seth Rollins will have a contract signing to make it official for the WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank. So that ends the Raw Ring Report. Let's move over to the SmackDown Ring Report. The SmackDown Ring Report this week, King Corbin went against Drew Gulak one-on-one. These two men, more power ground. One is a power ground submission specialist, the other one is a brawler. At the end, King Corbin won the match with, I think, Shinsuke kind of intervened, and Cesaro, they kind of intervened. They helped King Corbin. And now Shinsuke and Cesaro won the match. Well, won the match for King Corbin. That you would think they should be like King Corbin's Knights. You would think King Corbin is kind of champ, not the Sami Zayn. I don't know what they doing with that, but anyway, it's crazy, but it's WWE. So King Corbin earned himself a spot. Also, Sheamus went against Daniel Viant, defeated him, and still continued to bully Michael Cole. You can tell Corey Graves want to do something. I don't know if he's cleared or medically cleared or what's going on with that. Because you can tell he can't ditching, like he gets mad all the time at Sheamus. We'll see. It kind of builds up. Also, Lucha House Party defeated John Morrison in the Miz. John Morrison Miz, I guess that was the opening spot with a New Day came out there. John Morrison Miz demand a rematch, something like that. Now Miz, New Day told him they had to go back in line or something. And John Morrison and Miz lost to Lucha House Party. Wow. Here's John Morrison going back to the totem pole. Man. Speaking of that, another women's qualifying match for the Money in the Bank where Sasha Banks met Lacey Evans one-on-one. This has been brawling for weeks and months as Lacey Evans had got targeted by Sasha Banks, by her daughter, and Lacey Evans wanted to knock Sasha Banks out. Well, Bayley was at ringside to help Sasha, but Bayley cost Sasha the match. And Sasha lost to Lacey Evans with a woman's right, a roll of 1 or 2. And now Lacey Evans earns herself a spot in the women's Money in the Bank ladder match to grab the briefcase. So you had to wonder, there was this bang building between Sasha and Bayley. Down the road, we'll see. And finally, the main event was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross defend the Women's Tag Team Championship against Carmella and Dana Brooke. It was match was fast, furious. Dana Brooke with power moves, Carmella with her agility, her ability. But at the end, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss pick up the win for their team and remain tag team champions. So who's gonna stop Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and then they can build a tag team division on them two. So good for them. Good for them. And finally was the 25th anniversary for Triple H. Triple H celebrating 25 years in WWE with accomplishments, achievements, milestones. Triple H had a Best of Your Life edition with best friend Shawn Michaels. A lot of guest cameo spots from Stephanie to Road Dogg. And then the final guest spot was Mr. McMahon, which Mr. McMahon was addressing Triple H about past various moments like the Katie Vick situation. He was just saying, he was just rambling for out of nowhere for no apparent reason. And then he told Triple H it's time to shut things off. And Triple H had everything celebrated until the lights faded off. It just was kind of weird. It was kind of like unusual. Like I'm Triple H. A lot of people's critics saying that Triple H arguably the best performer. He is, but people felt like it just didn't feel right with Mr. McMahon. He was talking rambles and stuff. I just hope Mr. McMahon not losing his mind over what's going on, outside the wrestling world. Well, we'll never know. We'll hope to find out someday. All right, that ends the SmackDown Ring Report. When we return, we're going to have the Wednesday Night Wars Ring Report between AEW and NXT with their respective shows and Hot Topics. This is the Pro Wrestling Show. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kenji Dix here. Glad you can join us here on the Pro Wrestling Show. Like I said, join the conversation using the hashtag Pro Wrestling here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is king. Call a friend, tell a friend, subscribe. Love it here when you subscribe because that's what matters. Wrestling matters. All right, let's get to Hot Topics. On Hot Topics this week, man, we just found out that NXT superstar Velveteen Dream has been accused of sexually explicit photos to young girls. We're not going to show it here because it's surfacing around the internet, but a lot of people are saying mixed emotions, and Velveteen Dream quickly denies it. And a lot of people say there's been a report that's been going on about it, saying it was one issue a year ago on the Velveteen Dream on it, but we have to, like I said, we don't know what the details is at this moment, but once we get more developing information, we will come back next week or however. What it say right here? It says the incident was reported on November 30th, 2009 after a man told an officer he believed that he saw the same man believed to be the Dream in his car garage. Suspect for lights paid bail. So for busting the windows car a year ago. So a lot of people saying this Velveteen Dream might have busted windows out of somebody's car. I don't know. He said a Reddit user claimed to have responded to Dream saying that his Instagram DMs were open. Dream then reportedly sent explicit photos to that person. Some audios has surfaced online that feature a voice that sounds like Dream asking, "What school do you go to?" With that being said, there's no confirmation on his voice on tape. So, it's like I said, I don't know what is it. We can't. And then they said Team Dream denied it, be assumed they didn't communicate anyone inappropriately. A 5-4 man was shared without my consent knowledge. I'm working on third party looking into this matter. So, like I said, the person said they have more proof and be going to the police shortly. So, Team Dream. Wow. All right. Speaking of that, we heard rumors and reports that Oliver Luck, who was the XFL commissioner, has now sued Mr. McMahon, who was the XFL owner, due to the fact that Mr. McMahon said the XFL was on bankruptcy and had to do what he had to do. But Oliver Luck, the son of former football legend Indiana's Colts, Andrew Luck, Oliver Luck took to air his grievance, and now we're waiting on Mr. McMahon had said something, but we'll see how this going to play out between McMahon and Luck. Also, the sad note that Joe Pedicino, many of you might not know who Joe Pedicino was, but he was a key figure in pro wrestling talk back in the 80s and 90s. Joe Pedicino started a show called Pro Wrestling This Week, where he would report and cover wrestling shows throughout the 80s. And he also with Golden Soul and his wife Bonnie Blackstone. We hear the pro wrestling show off of our condolences and to Joe Pedicino this time, because when you look at it, the pro wrestling show was started by watching, YouTube videos of Joe Pedicino and Gordon Soley report the wrestling coverage for our wrestling territories, and that's what we do here. And we want to dedicate the pro wrestling show, this episode, to the memory and life of Joe Pedicino. God bless your soul. You're in a better place. You're in a better place, and we thank you for being that foundation for us to continue on that legacy. And I hope that we will do you proud and do you justice as you look upon. So thank you, Joe Pedicino. Also, what's else happening? Also, we also WWE 24/7 champion Gronk, who's been a fixture in WWE for WrestleMania, now has resigned has got traded to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Gronk was still a Patriots person, but now Gronk want to join Tom Brady. But the question is, how are they going to get that 24/7 championship out for Gronk once he's going to be committed to the NFL and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? We'll see. Also, other report, Dan Mata, who was released in that Black Wednesday cuts, had a terrible car crash and he could have almost died. Dan Mata telling his story. Dan Mata telling his story. We give Dan Mata a speedy recovery from his story and stuff. So, speaking of that, Dustin Reynolds, AEW star, we talked about later about him retiring, but he made a controversial tweet about he wants the coronavirus to end, but he had to delete the tweet. So I guess Dustin had poor choice of words in what he had said. So I hope Dustin knows his lesson real good. Also, the possibility of The Rock versus Roman Reigns, is that a possibility? We'll see. Rock's open to it, but he's busy right now in Hollywood, and Roman Reigns is open to it. But, Roman is trying to get himself together. But finally, WWE tries to schedule their schedulers as a member of somebody in WWE went and told the Florida, Orange County that WWE is forcing them to work, but it wasn't afraid to not voice their opinion. Well, WWE gonna find out anyway because with the human resources, but someone was gonna tell and try to get him fired. So you know how that go. You can't fire because there's a virus going on, but you feel like that. Hey, either what it is. All right, that ends the Hot Topics report. All right, let's move on to the Wednesday night report as AEW reigns supreme #1 through this podcast. Let's get to it right now. On AEW Ring Report was the TNT Championship tournament as the quarterfinals and stuff was getting started, where Darby Allin went against Sammy Guevara in a good 30-minute match. Both of them have reunited their feud for Revolution this past year. Darby would move Sammy Guevara, showcase his moves. Sammy Guevara could be the future. Both of them could be the future of AEW down the road. But at the end, Darby Allin picks up the win, and Darby Allin moves on and will go against Cody in the semifinals. So speaking of that, I meant to say Cody Rhodes also tried file trademark for his last name. Cody, let's hope he gets his name back. Cody's just doing everything what Dusty should have done years ago, but hey, Cody's still saying there's never too late. Also, speaking of Cody was trying to open the show, was trying to vet his future opponents. He vet Sammy Guevara, Darby Allin, his brother, Lance Archer, and many other people in this tournament. Also, Matt Hardy, the Damascus, warns Chris Jericho to bring himself to his compound. I think Matt Hardy wants Damascus to come. Well, Matt Hardy asked Damascus want Jericho to come and told him bring Sammy Guevara, bring all his inner circle weaves and idiots. Jericho's still resisting that go, but he gonna go eventually someday. It's gonna be fun. Why don't we see that? He challenged him to a match of deletion. But then when Matt Hardy stepped aside, the Damascus one stepped aside, the real Matt Hardy stepped aside and said that Chris Jericho came AEW to take over and try to stop the 4 executive vice presidents, Cody, Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega from doing something great rather than doing something that he don't need to be trying to take over, having that takeover spirit. So Matt Hardy trying to fight for their generation, for the generations to come. I think Jericho's doing the same. It's just speaking of that, special tag team champion AEW, Kenny Omega, one half of the tag team champions, was in action against Alan Angel. Kenny Omega put the finishing touches on him at 1, 2, 3. And that was it. Kenny Omega, I don't know why he ain't the AEW champion, but I didn't need to build him. That's what they built him. Speaking of that, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, spoke. He spoke outside his residence, which his home, his so-called home, and talked about his injury, what's going on with him. And he had an injury with his hand. And then he claims he will come back and want a chance for the AEW World title, whenever that might be. So look for Maxwell Jacob Freeman to challenge for the World Championship down the road. Also, speaking of MJF's Hitman and Warlord was in action. Warlord put quick work to Lee Johnson. Warlord dominated the match, was quick, intense, and dominating. And then Warlord used that spinning F5 to get the win. So Warlord is a machine and he looked impressive. I'll tell you that right now. Also, the Exalted One, Brody Lee, was in action. As Brody Lee recruits another new member into his faction. Recruit Preston Vance into his faction. So Preston Vance is a now new member of the Dark Order. And Brody Lee went against Justin Law and defeated him in a quick. Was done. But he kept eyeing at Maxwell Stunt. Maxwell Stunt. And Maxwell Stunt and him will get on next week. I think it's a mismatch. It's a David versus Goliath situation. And Maxwell Stunt will lose again. And I'm going to hit Jim Cornette commentary on this match. I think every time they piss off Jim Cornette for the hell of it, just to get a reaction. If with another match was Orange Cassidy with the Best Friends went against Jimmy Garvin. Not Jimmy Garvin, but Jimmy Wayne. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jimmy with the mask. Orange Cassidy pulled out the match. Orange Cassidy making me a true believer of him. At first, I was like, he just got his hands. But Orange Cassidy has the charisma, has the look and the appeal. So Orange Cassidy winning people over and winning me over by just doing just ordinary stuff, just getting over. Tell you. And finally, the TNT Championships quarterfinals as Dustin Rhodes vows if he didn't win the match, he will retire. He went against Quit Sabian with Penelope Ford in his corner, where Dustin had an equalizer as he had his sister-in-law Brandy at ringside, and Dustin and Kip Sabian put on an instant clinic. Even the Best Friends and what's his name, Jimmy, all try to get involved. Brandy hit Penelope Ford with a spear. Dustin Rhodes hit that little flipping pile driver he calls Cold Red. Got the 1, 2, 3, and Dustin will meet Lance Archer next week. I hope Dustin gonna put his retirement on line against Lance Archer. We'll see on that. We'll see on the road too on Monday. But that was it. But now we know the two semifinals. We have Cody versus Darby Allin 1-on-1, and we have Dustin versus Lance Archer. Now I think it's gonna be Dustin versus Lance Archer at the finals at Double or Nothing for the TNT title. All right, that ends the AEW Ring Report. Let's move over to the NXT Ring Report. On the NXT Ring Report this week, NXT had tournament with the NXT Interim Championship Tournament. Another match was heartfelt with Drake Maverick, who got released. Now he's competing in NXT in the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament, and it's like, that's not right. Why would you fire someone and then you want them to work the matches for your just due? It's like Drake should have been more strong and said, you know what, y'all fire me, I'm done. I'm done. But Drake, he was being a blue, he took it to the chin, and he went against Jake Atlas, who's been around WWE with Undercover Boss. But Jake Atlas won the match over Drake. But Drake Atlas gave Drake some good sound advice, like, don't give up. You have this. You should have it in your heart. So it's like a round robin tournament. Also, Kushida went against Tony Nese. Kushida beat Tony Nese by submission. Kushida advances into being the NXT Cruiserweight interim champion. Also, Eldo Hasma went against Jake Hager. Jack Gallagher, I'm going to say. And Eldo Family won the match. And then also 2 masked men tried to duck Eldo Family in the parking lot after the match. And they did with Roger Mazzino and Jacqueline, but he fought them off. I don't know what's going on with that. 2 masked men coming out of nowhere and trying to fight y'all. What's going on with that? Also, Mia Yim went in action against Jesse Kamel, winning by pinfall. Also, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae did a video package explaining why they're tired of putting people first, explaining their actions, and they changed the attitude. So I guess Johnny Wrestling and Candice Wrestling is going to look out for them. So can't blame them. Also, Dakota Kai and Rachel Gonzalez was in tag team action, defeated the team of Tegan Knox and Shotzi Blackheart, defeated them 1-on-1. And Robert Stone, Chelsea Green continue on their part of the Robert Stone Brands video package. What's that mean? And the main event was we were supposed to have Velveteen Dream and Keith Lee versus Adam Cole and Roger Strong. That match didn't materialize. That didn't happen. But coming in, Dexter Loomis steps up and helps Velveteen Dream, replacing Keith Lee. Dexter Loomis helping Velveteen Dream get the dupe and defeat Adam Cole and Roger Strong. And Velveteen Dream wants that NXT World title. Professionally, but personally, got a lot of things going on behind the scenes. Don't even know what's going on with that. But NXT was somewhat decent, good show. They lost in the ratings to AEW. Alright, that is the NXT Ring Report. Coming up next week, we'll have more wrestling news, wrestling action from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW, and Hot Topics. Like I said, the Pro Wrestling Show is here for you. I've been your host, Kendrick Dixon, so long, and we'll see you next week for another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. See you later.